Storm chances shift to the southern half of the state today. A couple of storms with hail and heavy rain tomorrow. Final round of a couple storms, and then guess what? The weather goes quiet for a while. All right, that's it. Let's talk about it in this Thursday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Hello, it's Thursday, the 8th of May, 2025. I'm Texas Storm Chasers Bully-in-Chief David Reimer. Allergies are kicking my behind, which is why we didn't have a video yesterday. And, well, today I'm struggle busting as well. But you know what? The show must go on. And that's what we're going to try to do here, even though I am definitely caffeinated to offset the fact the allergies are kicking my behind. Let's get into it. Let's start off with the severe weather outlook for today, tonight. Guess what? This is not your typical look for early May. Typically, it's the opposite side of the state we're dealing with storm issues, but for today, we have the potential for scattered severe thunderstorms in the Big Bend, the Edwards Plateau, South Texas, the Rio Grande Plains, the Rio Grande Valley, north into the coastal bend. This is generally going to be along and south of Interstate 10 from the I-10 merge out west through Fort Stockton Junction, San Antonio, up New Braunfels, all the way east towards Gonzales, down almost to Fort Bend County in southeast Texas. But alas, guess what? Northern half of the state, you're not under any severe thunderstorm threat today and tonight. With the most intense storms this afternoon and this evening, we could see a few rounds. This isn't going to necessarily be an area where we're dealing with discrete storms. We have probably a high number of storms out there today and tonight. The most intense storm, so the worst of the worst, could produce hail up to the size of tennis balls, localized damaging wind gusts of 60 to 70 miles an hour. A tornado is not out of the realm of possibility, but the overall risk is very low. In terms of flash flooding, we are back down into deep South Texas. Y'all got a bit of a lull. I say a bit of a lull, really. Y'all got quite a lull after the nasty flood event several weeks ago. But today, tonight, into tomorrow morning, the potential for scattered instances of flash flooding. Deep South Texas, the Rio Grande Plains, the Rio Grande Valley, including Laredo, Zapata, McAllen, Brownsville, and Corpus Christi. We could see isolated flash flooding as far north as the Big Bend, Alpine, Fort Stockton, out in the Pecos. I almost said the Pecos Plains. I guess that is what it is. Up into Junction, Southern Concho Valley, Hill Country, San Antonio, up into the middle and upper Texas Gulf Coast in the coastal plain southeast Texas. And if I say up one more time, we might as well just go watch the Pixar movie about it. All right, here is storm timing going into tonight and tomorrow. Guess what? It is going to rain today. Southern half of the state, bet on it. We're going to have multiple rounds of heavy storms move through. You can see those move off the coast into the Gulf by about 4 a.m. Friday, leaving far less of an active weather picture. Going into Friday, you can see with northerly winds across most of the state, we're actually going to have pop-up showers of thunderstorms. These are going to be more like your summer pop-ups than any sort of organized thunderstorm chances, so it's going to be a hit-or-miss situation where they're going to pop up and generally rain themselves out within an hour, but with northerly winds. Otherwise, it should actually be a pretty beautiful day across the state. Beautiful blue skies. Afternoon fair weather cumulus popping up into some isolated to widely scattered showers and storms across the state. And those should be going adios almost well. Beaters saying goodbye by sunset or not long after Friday evening, leaving a beautiful Friday night and Saturday morning across the state of Texas. So today, again, highest chance of rain, southern half of the state, with some of that being heavy in terms of heavy rain, flash flooding, potential for some of those storms to produce large hail and damaging winds. The worst this afternoon and evening, moving off the coast out of South Texas in the Rio Grande Valley early Friday morning. After that, well, let's take a glance at the long-range European weather model. We'll let this restart and get back to today, but guess what? You're going to get to see, as it restarts, eeny, meeny, miny, mo, there we go. Little upper level wave moving across South Texas, bringing those storm chances today. Going into the weekend, we're going to have a northwesterly flow aloft, bringing some cooler air into the state, a drier air mass. And then going into early in the first half of next week, you can see, I mean, it honestly doesn't look all that impressive. We're not going to have a lot of moisture in place, which is going to help keep our precipitation chances quite low. We're looking at an extended period of less active weather through at least Monday and Tuesday of next week, but it's possible it may actually keep going longer than that. Some model data is really not hinting at a return to active weather until next weekend. Still, though, given the time of year and the fact it's mid-May, we'll keep an eye on the second half of next week, but as it stands now, we may be, I hate to use the word quiet, but it is the best way to describe it, knock on wood. We may be quiet for at least 5 days across the state of Texas beginning Saturday. And that stretch may continue on beyond that, with the most active weather to our east. You can see that reflected here on the 7-day forecast rain totals. This from the Weather Prediction Center through the 14th of May. You can see, outside of rain chances today and maybe some pop-ups tomorrow, the northern half of the state is going to be almost completely precipitation-free for the next 5 to 7 days. You can see today, tonight, and tomorrow morning, locally over an inch of rain possible in the Big Bend down to the Edwards Plateau, Hill Country, South Texas, Rio Grande Plains, Rio Grande Valley, up into the coastal bend. Otherwise, the heaviest precipitation, the highest storm chances over the next week with multiple upper-level storm systems will be the eastern quarter of the United States, the Atlantic seaboard, Florida, up through the Georgia, the Carolinas, into Virginia, the Mid-Atlantic, Dalamava, and the northeastern United States up into New England, along with precipitation in the northern United States. So, I mean, we need some time to dry out. We need to get a lot of the water we've had fall over the last couple weeks down the various flood systems through the rivers. And, we need a bit of a break, so we're going to get it. Here's a long-range outlook from the Climate Prediction Center. Temperature-wise, May 15th through 21st, pretty good chance we're going to be above average, which, considering it's mid-May, it's probably going to be bordering on summertime temperatures across the state of Texas. And then, guess what? You want cooler weather? Go west of the Rockies into the western United States. Here's the precipitation outlook. Now, I do think we are going to become active again. It may be after a week, but we are not done with spring weather just yet, I don't believe, with the chance for some above-average precipitation chances. Northern third of the state, heading into the, latter stretch of May, and then the central and northern plains above average precipitation chances, which is fairly normal for late May as we begin to transition that jet stream from the south to the north, and the central and northern United States begin their primary severe weather season, and we, for the lack of a better term, begin to dwindle in ours as we begin the transition to summer. Now, is that going to happen in the 15th through 21st of May? Probably not, but at some point, Mama Nature's going to say, get ready for triple-digit temperatures, because undoubtedly, they're on the way. That'll be it for your Thursday edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. We'll be keeping an eye out for thunderstorms this afternoon and evening with the chance of flash flooding, heavy rainfall, cloud-to-ground lightning. Some of the storms will be producing hail and damaging winds before they dwindle off late this evening into tonight. And then tomorrow, we'll have some pop-up thunderstorms across the state in the afternoon and evening hours with brief heavy rain, cloud-to-ground lightning, maybe some small hail, and then a beautiful weekend setting up across the state of Texas. We'll be back tomorrow morning with your next edition of the Texas Weather Roundup. Thank you for tuning in. We appreciate it. Y'all have a great Thursday. God bless.